what's up everyone? So this is a transmission off of a ECS 180 CKA 30,000. It's a commercial mower. However, this is technically a Toro part, but it's off of a Exmark. But they're all basically the same. It's probably the same transmission for that one as well as their Time Master or anything else. Anyway, we replaced it because it is not running. Don't know why. Didn't really do a whole lot to it yet. All I did is replaced it. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what it failed. So first thing we want to look at is the outside. The outside, I mean, everything looks like it's not super great. Like if you spin it, sometimes it gets hung up. So instantly I think there's some type of gearing issue. In addition to that, look at this. I don't think the new one had that little dent in there. So I think it's definitely on the used end. I mean, it is a professionally used machine, so, but more importantly, hopefully you can hear this. Put it up to my microphone. I had this machine on its side, which in and of itself takes a little ingenuity without tipping over. So when I did that, I took like a little, I tried everything, made sure the belts were okay, wheels were okay, the gears on the wheels were okay. Everything is checking out. I didn't want to have to do this because one, this is like 180 bucks, which in transmission worlds isn't that bad, to be honest. I was severely surprised how cheap it was. To be honest, I was expecting $250 or more. But is this not the right size? No, it's not. Anyway, once I took the little plastic hammer, I kind of gave it a rap-a-tap-tap on it, and I noticed I heard some clanky noises. At that moment in time, I instantly realized we have a problem. So, figured we would take this apart and see what happened, if we could figure it out. Potentially repair it. I'm 99.9% sure that's not going to happen. Mainly due to the fact that when you look at this part, they don't really offer parts for it. They mainly just tell you to buy a new one. So, but maybe there's like a arm broken somewhere in there, or something we can weld and fix. Never know. I mean, having an extra transmission like this would be nice for a variety of machines. So, am I missing a screw somewhere? Probably like a sealer or something on it. There it is. Let's take these screws out. I'm sure there's probably oil in there. So I'm kind of surprised it hasn't leaked out yet. But you do need space for oil, like empty space. You can't have it full, otherwise you have yourself a problem. So I'm hoping with a tip like this, the empty space, and of course it's causing a wee bit of a aggravating issue. Ah, come on. I'm gonna struggle with this. I'll be back. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's you or something else. Well, so that part has plastic. This is definitely metal. Obviously this is metal. What does this do? Does that just push it together? I think so. But the real problem here is this. Look at that, all those teeth are gone. Trying to figure out what part spins the shaft off. It's these little inner parts. I feel like we're missing. Oh, we are missing something. There's also not only is there metal bits, or excuse me, plastic bits like these. This gear, it just completely just broke in half. Yeah, so there's no replacing that. Let me tell you a quick story about this person. This person has a trailer, and this trailer is not necessarily the highest, but it's fairly high. I actually made a ramp for him, and I mean, he's a nice enough dude, don't get me wrong, but the problem is he's kind of lazy in the ramp. The machine is long enough to where he could set his wheels on the ground and have one pair of wheels on the ground and one pair of wheels on the trailer. Well, to make it easier for him, he stands in a trailer, puts his front wheels on the ground, his back wheels on a trailer. I have a feeling sometimes he probably hit the ground with the wheels and cause a pretty heavy shock of some type. Granted, a lot of that should be absorbed by the body of the machine, but with there being wear on the shaft, maybe that was the start of the end. But I don't know, I'm speculating at that point. I don't 100% know what caused this, but I do think what started that was this. It's cast. I don't know where the other piece is. It's somewhere in there. I mean, it has to be. First time this has been opened. But I'm not going to say you should do this, but if it was all metal, you wanted to on the cheap, you could repair it. Or find a gear that would be sufficient. It's in there. I just can't get it without a magnet probably. But with that other piece being plastic, nah, it's trashed. Like, you don't want to deal with that nonsense. So, unfortunately, I do believe we have a problem of either a poor casting of the gear, or just a weak spot in the metal, or sudden shock. But yeah, this is what the inside of a transmission looks like for a Toro, Time Master, ECS, or the model I told you for the Exmark. For the most part, it's a pretty robust piece of machinery. I've taken apart others, and a lot of it's just a lot of plastic. While there is plastic here, and that piece, ugh. But yeah, another thing which I think could have happened, maybe these teeth started to break and then kind of got jammed, and then while using it, the motor just overpowered the strength of the metal and it snapped that little gear in pieces. That's a possibility. So, I don't know. What does everyone think? Do you think it was a issue of dropping it or sudden shock, or was it issue of just plastic pieces being plastic pieces breaking off, causing a jam, and the only thing that was able to unjam it broke? The weakest part of the system failed, and at that point the whole system failed. Which one do you think? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm assuming these are just for the oil, and the metal parts obviously is for the movement, because I don't know what else that would be for. In fact, where is the oil? I don't see the oil. Oil's nowhere. There's an oily residue on the shaft. Maybe that was part of the reason. Maybe all the oil leaked out and things got a little hot and heavy in there. And then on top of that, it's in the middle of summer. The day he brought it over was the hottest day of the year. And he said he broke it that day. It's like 107 or something outside in the Northwest. That's miserable. But maybe that has something to do with it too. Usually stuff like this, oil is a pretty important part of it, so probably shouldn't run it without oil. I don't know. I'm just going to speculate here and say that probably has a good section with the, good reason for it to fail is lack of oil. But there's no smaller metal pieces I'm not seeing. Just that big piece of gear just broke into like 2 pieces, and that's it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that. If you like what you see, keep watching, subscribe. Definitely catch the video on how I replace this transmission. It's a little bit of an interesting process. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was. I'd never done it before that time. So watch that video. But other than that, if you have any comments or questions, definitely leave that comment below. Put a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thumbs up helps me out a lot. And if you need any personalized help, feel free to become a member. That is a perk, and I'll be happy to help you out with any project you have involving a small engine.